Thank you for joining me for episode 128 of Soapbox Daily. Hey, I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and TGIF to you. TGIF, thank God it's Friday, let me tell you. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate you being here as always for, another end of another week. And how has your week been? Have you had a good week? Has it been a busy week? Has it been a steady week? Are you surviving the winter wherever you are in the world? Whether you're snow or your sun, who knows? Because it all depends on where you're located. But hey, onwards and upwards. Let's always keep our integrity in check. Let's be the positive change the world needs. Let's set the example. The best advice I can give you moving forward is just be the best that you can be, because that's the only way we're going to change this world for the better. Overall, that's it. Keep your integrity in check. And speaking of which, and we're going to talk about something along the lines of integrity, and that's important. Our topic for today is needed support for your local healthcare professionals. Yes, support for your local healthcare professionals. Now, let me tell you, folks, as much as all of us would like to live forever, like myself, the reality is, our mortality is that, we're getting older. We have years that are limited. We can only go so far. And when we get sick, we do our best to get better and stay healthy and get back on track. But when it gets really bad, we have to go get professional help. We have to go see the professionals. We go to hospitals. We have to go to doctors. We have to go see the healthcare professionals that are trained to take it to the next level and help us out. Now, our healthcare has been hurting for a while, before COVID. But COVID was just a wake-up sign to say, hey, by the way, your healthcare is already strained, and now you're just asking for them to go tenfold or more moving forward to help contain the situation. And I'll tell you, our healthcare professionals, even before COVID, were hurting. Nurses especially were not getting the recognition they deserved. But there's more to healthcare than just doctors and nurses. There's a whole team behind it, from sanitary engineers to you name it, even reception. All of it works hand in hand, but they don't get the support they need. And yes, unfortunately, I'm fortunate that I'm in Canada and healthcare is paid for and covered by taxes. And people always say, oh, well, go to Canada, you get free healthcare. Nothing's free, my friends. There's an expense to it, whether it's monetary, whether or not it's people power, whether or not it's the mental, physical, emotional strain on our healthcare workers. It is a lot. So I'm reaching out today to say, hey, wherever you are in the world, you need to support your healthcare, because the numbers are dwindling. They don't have people in there to take care of things anymore. I was shared a story by my wife the other day about how one of her friends, his mother, is in the hospital on a floor and nobody there to take care of her. So she's like in her 90s, and her friend has to go in to support the mother and feed her and change her and everything else, because there's no nurses. There's no nurses, there's no orderlies, there's nobody there to do this. So even if you go into the hospital thinking you're going to get care, unless you're dying and the alarms start going off, nobody's coming because there's one nurse per floor. That's something to be scared about. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, oh, well, what does it matter? It doesn't affect me. When it does affect you, how are you going to feel then? Is that when you're going to sound the alarms? Is that when you're going to start causing a fuss? Is that when you're going to start stomping your feet going, oh, what's wrong with healthcare? What's wrong with healthcare? Blah, blah, blah. So it's not until you need it. That's a pretty selfish dynamic, and you should really look up what integrity means and try to get some. The reality is that, yes, you might not need the hospitals right now. You might not need healthcare workers right now, personally for you, but maybe somebody you love does, or maybe you will down the road. At that point, it's too late. Now, I'm reminded of this because I'm getting older. I'm still in pretty decent health. I do watch myself. I do what I can to keep on the straight and narrow and not put strain on the healthcare network. And I do a point of seeing my doctor on a regular basis when I can, but even that's becoming quite the feat. A lot of the healthcare professionals that even when I try to make appointments, the appointments are getting canceled or pushed forward because there's not enough support staff. And this is something to be scared about, folks. And I'm going to tell you, you might be young or you might be healthy, and you might not need them right now, but you should take notice, because when you do need them, they're not going to be there. And it's no fault of theirs. They were burned out before COVID, and then COVID really put a lot of people through burnout. Lives were lost, and we're talking healthcare workers' lives were lost. They were sacrificing themselves and burning themselves out in order to maintain and contain the situation. And now the numbers have dwindled. Say, I'm going to give you an example. Say worldwide we had 100 healthcare workers. Worldwide. That number, and I'm throwing a figure out there. I don't have facts to back this up, but I'm throwing a figure out there based on the news I'm reading, the reports I'm reading, stories I'm hearing from people. That number is probably closer to 60 out of that 100 at this point. That means 40%. And a lot of people don't want to go into certain fields because of this, because of the burnout, the not being appreciated and everything else. Like, for instance, law enforcement, which is getting a bad rap because of stupid social media and a bunch of, bad examples caught on video and stuff like that. You can't blanket everybody to be at fault. And even in healthcare, you hear these horror stories from nursing homes and retirement homes and everything else. Again, those are remote situations that have never have happened. But you can imagine when you have 100 people looking at you and you're one person and you're trying to maintain everything, you can imagine the burnout and how much stress that would be. So I can understand people snapping, but it's like anything, we're all human. So what I'm saying is that healthcare is important. It is a noble position, and patients need TLC and somebody that can give a good bedside manner. But if there's nobody there and people are not balanced themselves, it makes it very difficult. Don't put the blame on the healthcare system. Put the blame on yourself for not supporting them. So healthcare needs more help. If you don't need to go to a hospital or a healthcare professional, don't. Maintain yourself. Do some research. Take better care of yourself. Support your healthcare workers. Make donations to help them out. Volunteer your time to help out hospitals or local healthcare centers. Do what you can to help alleviate, to get the numbers back, to get the strength put back into the healthcare system, because they need your help and support. So when you need them, they're there for you. But you got to get on it now. I don't care if you don't need them now or next year or next week or 10 years from now, but eventually you may need them, or somebody you love may need them, and they need your support now. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to lose all our healthcare, and that whole system's going to crumble, and then we're all SOL, and you have nobody to blame but yourself. You can't blame the nurses or the doctors or the healthcare workers. You can't blame them. We won't talk about prices. That's a different story altogether. But bottom line is, support your local healthcare professionals or international healthcare professionals. They need your love and support on many different levels, not necessarily financially, but mentally and emotionally as well. Give them some love. All right. I wanted to get this out there because when I heard that story from my wife about her friend's mom in the hospital and they actually have to go in and take care of her, I mean, that broke my heart. I'm like, that's just sucks. That's not right. Something's wrong. The system is broken, but something's got to be done about it. And it's up to us as the citizens of wherever we are in the world to do something about it. But don't fuss and fight and honk horns and stuff. Don't be stupid like that. Get on board. Put some work in. Volunteer your time. Help them out. That's what I'm saying. So that's it for today. Hey, thank you very much for tuning in today. I appreciate you being here. I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Please check out themadmorgan.com, themadmorgan.com for more information on all our shows and projects and everything else now and coming down the road. We're trying to balance a lot, but hey, right now we're just a single person team, just me and, my 3 other personalities. But no, I'm just a single person team doing what I can to be here for you. And I love being here for you, and I love speaking to the world and sharing my thoughts, trying to help you out to educate, entertain, and evolve, and help me, and help everybody else make this world a better place. So I'm going to wrap it up. TGIF, have a great weekend. Thank you very much for being here. I will see you on Monday for our next episode.